Hey guys, hey, it's me, Jimmy Lou from the Messy Craft Corner. You guys, whoville is coming up this Saturday. So I'm going to show you. We're going to do two things today, real quick this morning, and then this afternoon we're going to do some stuff with this book. But we're going to break this book down too. So, welcome, come on in, do all the fun things. I left my paper cutter in the other room. But that's okay. I'm not sure that I want to use my paper cutter on this. So if you're getting here, say hello. If you are watching a replay over on YouTube, this was originally filmed as a Facebook Live. You can join us over on Facebook at the Messy Craft Corner. We are always happy to have new friends over there. So you guys, come on in, say hey. And let's talk about the event. Saturday is the amazing whoville. Friday and Saturday is the amazing whoville event. If you're getting here, say hello. I see some friends coming in. Saturday is the whoville event. And guys, look at all of this fun stuff. 'Tis the season for travel. How fun is that? Old family recipes, baking. So this book I picked up at a thrift store for the sole purpose of cutting it down to use the pictures in it to make my own ephemera. So, and some of it I'm going to have to decide, do I want to use this or do I want to use this? Most likely I want to use this because this looks like a whole heap of lot of fun. So, but first what we're going to do is this book here, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I don't own the rights to it. I'm taking creative license in breaking it apart and turning it into something absolutely amazing. So with any book, let's see, are we going to have room? Yeah. With any book, you want to kind of like start to, you're going to crack your spine. I know the librarians used to tell us, don't crack the spine. But when you're breaking apart a book, whether it's this way or another way, you always want to start by kind of like pulling it. Let's go up a little bit so you can see. I feel like I'm really, really close. There we go. So you want to start by pulling it, okay? You're not really damaging it because where we're going to cut is where the bending, we're kind of where that bending line is, okay? So I'm just starting to kind of like crack it and push it. It's breaking the glue down inside the actual spine. I do it from both ends, okay? So, and you want to get down as far as you can, because we're going to use a blade and we're going to start cutting, okay? So an X-Acto knife will work, but if you're careful, you will be able to, let me just turn that sound off so you don't have to hear that. If you're careful, you'll be able to keep, your spine here and make it that you can sew in signatures. That's not the type of book that I want to make today. So hello, Roberta. Hello, everyone. So I start by pulling all my pages to the side and pulling my book cover this direction. Taking your blade, you want to just start to cut that paper that connects the front cover with the back cover. And you just want to be real careful, especially if you're trying to save the spine in any way. Me, I want to try to save the spine because I want to create a bookmarker with it. So if you're not careful, you'll cut straight through. And it could be in a spot where you're not able to save that cover. So it does take a bit of manhandling. That I'm going to tell you. You got to get kind of a little rough with it. Okay, but you'll feel it start to give, and when it gives, then it's letting loose of what's glued here and what's not glued there. Be careful with your fingers always, because you don't want to be, digging into your fingers. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut the guts out. Okay, so on the opposite side where we just were working, you just want to give it a pull. Hi, Vicki. Welcome. So glad that you're here. We are starting to do some prep work. I'm in an event on Saturday to where we're going to I want to get this all done so we can decorate the cover. That's my goal ultimately, is to get all of the innards done. We're going to keep the entire story intact. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to slice here at the edge to keep the story intact, and then we're going to add some fun stuff to it. I love this book. There is not a lot of color in this book. It's red, it's black, it's white. That's it. Some shades of red, but for the most part, there's no green in this. We're going to be adding the green. We're going to be adding the Christmas touches to this book. Okay. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Danita. Welcome. So sometimes it's easier to lay it down and slice, but like I said, I want to turn the spine into a bookmark. This event on Friday and Saturday, the Whoville event, can be viewed all in the Sparkle Room. If you're not a follower, or if you don't belong to the Sparkle Room, that's a free group that you can join. It is Chris Hunter's group, you guys, and she invited me to come be a part of this awesome event. Okay, like I said, sometimes it takes a bit of manhandling and just working with your blade. And if you have to do a little repair work here and there to the inside cover, that's okay. Listen, it's so close to letting go. It just doesn't want to let go. There we go. Okay, so I want to show you something. Look what I did to the cover. So if you want to keep your spine, that you're keeping it intact, to, you know, fold this out and make this a sewn-in signature book, you want to be extra careful when you're cutting there. Okay, now we're just going to put a straight edge. We're going to use a straight edge, and we're just doing this right in the fold, right in the groove of where the front meets the back. I'm just cutting straight along. There we go. And I probably am going to put it on my paper cutter to trim it up because this is soft yet. I don't know, we might work it out. Sometimes it's easier though if you do it on your cutting board. And my my blade on my cutting board needs changed anyways, so I'm okay with that. So now we have this part here. I can take my scissors. You're welcome, Vicky. You are welcome. Tell us, Vicky, where are you from? And are you a paper crafter? So I'm just trimming this up because we're going to turn this into, not today, but at some point we're going to turn this into a bookmark for the actual book. So I'm just cutting off this excess kind of junk, kind of the crap. Now you can do a couple of things here. You can just cover with ribbon and then do a dangle. That's probably what I'm going to do. You can add this to a piece of scrap chipboard. Sandra, we're working on cutting down a How the Grinch Stole Christmas book. I'm taking creative license here. And we're going to make it into a junk journal that on Saturday, as part of the event, we're going to take the time, we're going to decorate up the cover and do any other extra little things in there. So that's what we're working on. Yeah, y'all, I have the best ladies here, and some gentlemen that follow me that are just, and I just want to say, I have not seen my buddy around for a while, Christopher. I have not seen Christopher around for a while. He usually comes on and asks to see the picture of my mom. So I don't know. Has anybody seen him on? I just haven't seen him commenting. I hope he's okay. All right, so I've saved the spine. That's what we're going to do. Okay. Sandra, are you new? You're new, Sandra? Or you just like the idea of the junk journal? Okay, so this actually measures 8 inches. So let me see. This one, I got pretty close. Let me see here if this one... Yeah, we're going to actually have to cut it down a wee bit. It's going to be a little smaller than the 8 inches. So let's try this. This is a straight edge by Tim Holtz that fits on your glass mat. But I don't mind using it to do this part of the books because you can hold it pretty steady. And it holds pretty flat against... we're just going to trim this up, you guys. And it's a glass mat, so I'm not really damaging it by cutting on it. So there's that little extra that needed to get trimmed down. Now my front and back cover should be the same sizes, and they are. So there's a couple of things you can do when you break your book down like this. You can do what we're going to do. I'm going to do 3 rings, 1, 2, and 3 pretty big size rings, so you can add stuff to it. We're going to use some pretty Christmas papers. I'm coffee dyeing. I'm coffee dyeing in the house, y'all. And you can do that. You can add scrap chipboard and create a spine in the center that's like 2 inches, 3 inches, however big you want it to be, and turn it into more of a sewn in signature. We're not going to do that. We're just going to do the 3 rings. There was a new way also that I saw, and haven't tried it yet, new to me, of how to add a spine that just will keep your covers kind of like your covers. So I'm going to practice on that with a different book. But anyways, so this is now what I call broken down. So the cover is off, and then we have our guts that we want to work with. Now, I want to keep all of my guts that I can because, first of all, I want the story. Now, if you look at a book, books have signatures, whether they're glued in like this one was, or whether they're sewn in. So a signature is a grouping of pages. So right here, if you see, these pages are sort of sewn together, although they were glued in. So if I start pulling, I can start to cut those strings. And I'm trying not to hit the page of the book itself, because that I'm going to cut off on my paper trimmer. So be careful. So be careful. Because you don't want to damage your story if you're planning to keep your story intact. Let me see. I feel like I just have something right here that's gripping. Yep. It was. And I got it. So if you pull it far enough apart, you can see the strings and you can pull it. So now this should all come apart. Yep. So, you know, technically we could have made a really nice sewn in signature, you know, or sewn in signatures for this, but look there's only 1, 2, and 3 pages to a signature. So we're going to be cutting these down to 7 3/4. So when I cut it, I'm going to be cutting it here. So if you cut in from the spine, 7 3/4 is going to come to about here. So I'm going to lose some of my picture, but I'm not going to lose my words. The words are more important to me than the pictures. So we just need to cut these all out, keeping them in order. So I cut one off, then I come to my next one, and I start to give it a little tug and see where it comes apart at. Oops. Sometimes it's a little tricky to find. I'm using my old lady eyes over here. Okay. So, and sometimes when you cut those threads, sometimes if you cut it on the right side, the correct side, it'll release all of the threads for the rest of it. Be careful with your fingers, especially, you know, this is not something, kids can make books like this, but this is not something that I would let kids, this part here is not something I would let children do. Sometimes you just got to shave it to get it to release, so you can get to those stringers. The stringers and humdingers. You guys, oh my gosh, this one's working it some. There we go. Phew, that one put up quite the fight, you guys. So then just get to the center of that. Oh, excuse me. Find the center of where it is. And then any of those little strings that might be just holding on, you can just grab them. and pull them out. Okay, so there we go, this one there we go. And then these will all come apart also. Now, the technique that I'm showing you here is the exact same technique we're going to do when we take the other book apart for the ephemera. Because what I thought I might do is keep the book cover. I'm going to be really careful to not cut the cover apart. Because I thought I could use my bookbinding machine and we could just make this into a notebook. Because maybe somebody, the Grinch is being Grinchy. He sure is, isn't he? Okay, so this is the last two sections right here. And we're just gonna slice them apart. Keep those fingers out of the way, y'all. Last thing Jimmy Lou wants to do is get one done on the live. I've nipped my fingers already, but I've never seriously, I don't want to say it, but I've never really seriously done it in. And so, okay, here we go. So we're just doing a little prep work. We're going to get together at 4 this afternoon and just do some more work together. Okay, so this has like a lot of glue and stuff on it. It might be a little more difficult to section apart, but that's okay because we're going to put it onto the cutting board. And we're going to slice off what we need. So there's just a lot of glue was holding on to. I think the whole book was being held on by that just one little spot. Just saying. How do you decide what size you cut everything down to? I go by what the cover is, okay? So, the cover, when you look at a cover, the cover has that natural kind of fold where there is no chipboard. So when I slice that off, that's how I determine how big my book is going to be. I don't want to cut any of the original cover down other than what I did. I love that it has all of these things in it. So then I just go with it. So this is actually it's by 11.5. This is by 11.5. So all of my papers on the inside are going to be 11 by 7 3/4. So I'm going just slightly smaller than the book cover itself. So the cover is going to protect all of it. Does that make sense? Hopefully that made sense. All right. So we're just going to give this a little yank apart. Did I stick that one over there? I did. The last thing he took was the log. There's the little girl. Okay. Whew, scared myself there for a second. You definitely want to keep your story in order. So there we go. Okay. There's that part, and then we just have this last part, and we should be able to just separate this. Is everybody learning something? I hope everyone's learning something. Every who down in Whoville sang him a song. Do-do-do. I like when he brings the presents back. That's the nice part. That's the kindness part that I like. Okay, so here are my sections. We're going to cut these because this is just going to be a 3-ring bound that we're going to be flipping. I forgot my my cutting board in the other room. Let me grab that quick. Lovely, delicious paper that I've been coffee dyeing. I've been putting it on my cookie drying racks. Amy Dean, I did not. So Lisa over at Brown Eyed Girls Crafting, she told me a way to make this grunge. So she put it in a spray bottle, and that's what I did, and I put it on my drying racks, and look at how lovely this is. So remember I said my papers are going to be 11 inches, and I'm not getting too deep into this because we're going to work on this later some, but this is by 11 inches, and then I just need to cut it down this size here so that we can add some of this beautifully coffee dyed, delicious smelling papers in it. And then I wanted to pull some of this paper too to add in, you know, either top or bottom. That's Christmas carols. So that's the different kind of things that you can add to your books. Okay, so I said 7 3/4. So what I'm going to do is, this is my first section. I'm going to lay this on here at 7 3/4 and see just how much of that is going to get taken off versus for the edge of the book. So it is going to give that like 1/4 of an inch off. So we're just going to put it on your paper cutter and just cut it down. There is probably nothing that's going to be in any of this that's going to be usable. So I am not that into it. So this to the side facing up, so that way we know that's the direction of the book. Next one. Why do I feel like this is 7 3/4 right on there? Give it that little trimity trim. I have to run it twice just to get all the way down there. Okay, hang on one second, because this right here doesn't want to give it up. That happens sometimes. That's because it was pretty deep with that stuff. There we go. All right, so there we go. Okay, so there's that one. Ooh, that was getting me there for a bit. Let's see. The edge out here is just one piece too big. So 7 3/4, trim it down. You just ordered 2 books? Awesome. Now, I tried very hard to get a How the Grinch Stole Christmas book from the thrift store, and I couldn't find one. I hated that. I bought a new book for this purpose. That is not like me. I don't typically do that. I forgot what I was doing. Let's see. Okay, this one is here. And this one is here. Okay, so I will actually like go through the book before I put it in there just to make sure that it's all in its place where it belongs and that the story's not out of order. That's the tricky part sometimes, is keeping the story in order when you have to, like, it's easy when the section cuts apart nicely. So this is all sectioned and ready to go. Here's my piece here. Set that to the side. I'm finished with that part for now. So the only thing left that I want to do is I want to do the same thing. I want to cut this down. And some books that you get come apart really easy. This is a used book. So therefore, it's acting like it's going to come apart a little easier. If I cut the spine, I'm not too terribly concerned. See how it just pulls apart. Look at how nicely. Just like that. Look at there. Look at there, you guys. And we're just going to get this started. Get this party started. Get this party started. Okay, so there's the guts. This is all stuff I'm going to be sitting and fussy cutting. Y'all know how deeply I despise fussy cutting, but I didn't cut out into the book part itself. So if I really wanted to, I could put some spare chipboard in there and create a sewn in signature piece. The only thing I'm really thinking of keeping the book cover for is to use my my bookbinding tool and just make this into a book that's a notebook for writing like Christmas things down, like a Christmas journal. I think a little girl would like to get a Christmas journal. That's just me. But who knows what else we might do with this. So that I'm setting to the side. And then the rest of this, it's not going to matter to me. I'm going to take my really nice Tim Holtz scissors and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to cut out the things that I want this book to have. So let's just talk about it for a second. There's nothing here to actually use. There's nothing here to actually use, okay? But I can take this and I can slit this off. And then we have these parts here that become words. Does it matter what edge you cut? Me personally, I always cut at this part here because that's the part that's tucked into the spine and you're less likely to cut into the story. Okay, so this one, I love this guy. He's so cool. So, that's where I cut. That's how I edge cut it, but you know, it can be up to you. All right, so this is going to set to the side. And then we have this lovely, like, yellowish kind of paper here. 5.5. So if I cut them into 2.5 pieces, there's one. And here's one. So here's 2 pieces now that I can use to punch into tags. So we'll have to do something with the back, but that's okay. Whoops. So we can punch these into tags. That's why I cut it at the 2.5, because now we have this really cool tag. This can be journaled. This can be all like ephemeraized. I'm making up words here. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot that you can do with that. So I actually will do something with the cover. I won't let that go. But you guys can decide what you want to do. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you want to buy ephemera that is Dr. Seuss ephemera. You can do that. Just search it on Amazon and you'll find it. But me, I saw this. This was 49 cents at the thrift store. And I was like, this is perfect. The cover was kind of dirty, but it wasn't bad. So, you know, but like I can cut out the Grinch here if I wanted to, and then I could attach him to the tag back here. That would sort of cover it. The Christmas paper that I'm going to use, you guys want to see the Christmas paper I bought for this? Let me grab that. I got it from Michael's. I bought this paper at Michael's. It's not really bright in your face paper, but I think it will serve nicely. It's called Christmas Cottage. And I got it because it has these like villages in it. But it also has this really pretty reds and greens. But I like that, you know, this kind of reminds me of Whoville. I'm just saying. So that's why I bought this paper pad especially. And since there was no real green in the original storybook, I thought this green would match nicely. And then last night I was fiddling around with some new die cuts that I got, and I created this little round pocket. And I just put Merry Christmas on there. We have our Christmas tree, winter cheer, stay cozy, and then a little blank one for journaling. So this can get set aside to go along with our book as well. So also for this part, for covering this, your cover pieces are really good for this. Okay, you want to know what I'm talking about? Let me show you. In true junk journal fashion here, let's actually cut this down, okay? So I have these really nice pieces here that, look, are going to be just kind of perfect for that. So let me just put a little tick mark here. And we're going to cut this down. I'm not even going to look at the front side. I'm not even going to look to see what I'm getting. There we go. So if I take this now and I just tear, we can tear. And then we can attach this onto here. If I cut this out to the 2.5 inches, I'm just going to do it down to 2 3/8, so I know it's going to fit on there. We can attach this onto here, and it's going to make the tag just a little bit stronger. Okay, and just grab a pair of scissors here, use my old lady eyes to see what the Harry I'm doing. So there we go. Let's just make this a little more defined. Okay, grab you an ink pad, and we're just going to ink the edge here just to make it a little more defined. You can do the edges of your tag as well. So this is the kind of stuff that I want to be working on. Like I said, on Friday and Saturday is the Whoville Christmas event for the Sparkle Room. So feel free to join the Sparkle Room. It's a free group. I'm going to leave this side just the yellow colors because I think that'll match in the book nicely. But I'm just going to give it a little ink to soften up that white edge. Oh, I think it just makes it look better. But then I have no glue in here because I wasn't planning to work. But we can attach this onto here and then go into the little book here and find something cool that might fit in with our little story. Like maybe even just this, or the pack of presents will look pretty there. So like I said, I'm going to be doing some fussy cutting. We could have cut the tree down to do the one. I'm just going to grab this package of packages right here. Okay, so you can see kind of what I'm grabbing, these packages right here. And I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to fussy cut them a little nicer than what I did there. Just taking a lot of that white off, but I got to do it where I can see it, you guys. I'm really sorry. It's hard to see some of this stuff through the camera. So tell me in the comments who is looking forward to doing a Whoville book, and who is actually just going to take their chances against Chris Hunter to make a Whoville book. I mean, to buy the Whoville book. So, you know, we have this strip. If I trim this down, we can add this as part of it as well. Let's do this one. And then along the edges here. Hey, Carrie King Hall, how are you? I was just saying how much we miss seeing you around here. Okay, so I just trimmed that off. So I don't have my glue in here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on here. We're going to glue this on here. And then we've created this really cool tag. I want to find some fun fabrics and stuff from my fabric bin to do my loops and stuff. So then this can go into my bin. Where the heck is my bin? Hang on, you guys. I have a bin set aside for this. And I set something else on top of it. So let me just get that off of there. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so here's a bin. Oh, what happened to my bin? It's all lopsided. It's all loop-sided. So just throw your pieces of stuff that you're going to work with, your book and everything, into a bin like this. That's what I do. Look at these really cool sparkly stars. These were from the graduation section that I got on clearance markdown. These are going to be part of the book cover. This I'll finish up, and it'll be good to go for our Whoville book. And we'll create some great pockets and stuff. Join me at 4:30 this afternoon. 4:30 this afternoon. We're going to do some more fun things with the ephemera pieces. I'm going to work on cutting some out. But all of those things that I want to, and like I said, you have to decide. What do you want from one to the other? Do I want this part? Perhaps, because it's going to be, it's in the center of this fireplace, which is good because I can still keep, most of this part over here if I just do this. Sorry, little Whoville man. You know, so it was just the center of the fireplace there. So, you know, all of this here can still get used for really good pieces of ephemera. Decide what's important to keep and what doesn't matter. Like that wagon wheel thing didn't really matter to me. So the Christmas tree is kind of important because we can make things look dimensional by putting this in front of one of the black and white trees. So just do that kind of thing. I'll keep this. I'll probably keep some of those stockings, the tricycle, all fun things that can get used for tags and things like that. So I hope that you have a good day. Go do some amazing things, you guys. And meet me back here at 4:30 and we're just going to hang out. We're going to hang out. We're just going to chit chat just like we did today and do some fun things. And like I said, if you're watching this over on YouTube, this was originally a Facebook Live. I'm moving some of my videos over there so I can put them into categories to make it easier for you guys to find. All right, have a super great rest of your day. Remember to always be kind because you never know what someone might be going through. Yes, you could copy them, but copying, you can violate copyright. I don't want any copyright infringement issues. I'm taking creative licensing in what I am doing in breaking the books and stuff down. But you just want to be really careful. Oh, I have this pretty. This will be pretty up here. Perfect. Look at that. I found that. I also have some green. We have some fun little fuzzies. I think that was supposed to go in that dangle yesterday and didn't make it in. All right, guys, have a good day, and I'll see you later today. Be kind and get your stuff together. We're going to be making a very cool Whoville book, and I'll see you all real soon.